I remember the first time we was working on the swing and I actually dropped her head on the ground. Next year, can I do the voiceovers instead of it being a British guy to be me? I could be the country guy. Next coming up for the Pasta Doble.
Can you imagine Dwight just replaces the guy?
It's Dwight Howard. I remember to stay in character because I had got a little tired. It's a little part in the dance where
he was breathing with his mouth open. He was like,
it's inevitable that you're going to get.
He just didn't stop growing. That's the difference.
5'3" is normal
5'3"
height.
is average. Anything above 5'3" is tall.
Where?
On Earth.
On Earth, 5'3" is short.
I think it should have been a 6-team finale.
16 couple?
6 teams.
Oh, 6-team. I'm like, 16 couple finale.
Bring more people in.
Well,
I thought you said 16.
We would definitely have a chance then.
What? I thought Reggie was going to make it.
What was it like with your guys' time off?
I've been missing dancing. I ain't going to lie to you. I want to go back. I've been doing dance moves in my head. I still remember the Paso Doble.
That's a good thing.
And the foxtrot.
Good. I wish you remembered the foxtrot back when we did it.
but see, what had happened was this. I was new into the game. I was doing the dancing.
That's
you know?
true.
But then now it's all in my head. I can't get rid of it. I just want to dance everywhere. I be in public. Hey, you was on Dancing with the Stars. I'm over here doing dance
They forget
moves.
you're a basketball player. They're like, oh, I know you from Dancing with the Stars.
I'm glad. That feels so much good. That feels better to hear. Like, oh, you were on Dancing with the Stars. And that's where kids know me from. So.
That's cute.
Was the Paso the one where Dwight really improv'd?
No,
Cha-cha.
that was a cha-cha.
You can't forget, Joe.
Cannot forget the cha-cha. I didn't improvise when I did that. I actually did that one pretty good.
The cha-cha? Oh, no, the Paso, you nailed it.
What was it really like for you as a star on the show? Was it everything you expected?
It was more than what I imagined was going to happen. Like the show, like I didn't win the mirror ball, but I won in so many areas of my life, and I could be more grateful for just being on the show.
Do you think that the skills that you learned in the ballroom would translate to the NBA?
It's not even about translating to the NBA because, you know, I would love to finish my career off with a bang in the NBA, but if it doesn't happen, it's helped me with a lot of life skills that I can take and impart with my kids and my family. And I'm looking forward to, this next chapter because dance was really, really good. Yeah.
What kind of life skills?
I would say really
Patience?
just a lot of patience. You know, I thought I was very patient before, but this has really taught me more patience, more like really commitment, true partnership, communication, which is super key. You know, I just learned so much about how, you know, just having a dance partner is like how you would want you and your partner to be in life. It's like in life, it's like one big dance, you know, and you got to be on the same page. You got to be on the same like tune, and you got to be able to hear the steps. And when you two can hear the steps and you two are moving on the same beat, you just get tens. You know, that's how I look at it. So I really enjoyed myself. I'm gonna miss it. I told Daniella in the text I miss farting on her.
Was that a big issue?
It was a huge issue because I'm the same level as his butt. So if he farts, it's in my face. Like no matter where I am in the room, I'm always getting a whiff, and it's not my favorite. But I will miss him. I won't miss his farts.
1 through 10, were they bad?
Honestly, they didn't smell that bad. It was just the noise was as if he I don't know, had diarrhea. So sometimes I was so wet that I was just like, I don't know what you're eating, Dwight, but they need to not sound like that.
He can't hide it because you guys spent so much time together.
I mean, it was from day. It was like day. Not
probably like day 3.
like day 3. He was like all in it. I was like, whoa, and I didn't know he had history with farting. Like I didn't know that was his thing.
Yeah.
No one warned me, so
It's part of the defense.
I was just surprised. Well, maybe if you would have like farted in the ballroom, maybe that could have.
Maybe that would have changed their mindset. I could have put out a good energy. Because I don't know, Carrie Ann didn't seem to like none of the stuff we were doing. Carrie Ann. Step into the light, Carol Ann.
What was the toughest part during the actual show?
I think the toughest part was just getting over the first couple weeks of all the dance. Like, once I got past the first 3 weeks of how much work we were going to be doing and how my body was feeling, I was good after that. Like, I didn't even care. I cared, but whatever the judge's critique was, I mean, I listened to it, and I didn't listen to all the outside noise from whatever was brought with whatever they were saying. So if it was technique, then I'm thinking, okay, I got to make sure, like my New Yorkers. She hated New York at the time because we went to New York. So I was trying to make sure I got my New Yorkers straight. And I couldn't do it for a long time until Derek actually came in and he gave me another clue of how to get it right. And actually, the best part was Alfonso. You know, I'm knowing him for being, you know, Carlton Winslow. But, you know, now after talking to him so much and learning so much from him, and, you know, it was real great, you know, to really see him in a different, you know, atmosphere than just a show. Getting able to talk to him about dancing and stuff like that. And, you know, he inspired me because he's really good. And I'm like, how does Carlton know how to do all this? I call him Carlton, but I know that's not his name.
It's good. It's good because no matter how many times I say something, someone else might say it a different way and it just clicks. So it was nice to have feedback from multiple people.
Right. As time, I really felt like the two of you grew as a partnership because you came out so good in the beginning and then you just kept getting better and progressively. It was really fun to watch as the weeks kept going through.
Thank you. We had
some
week.
moments.
We had a week. Well, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Was it the travel week?
One travel week and then 1 week before our first 10 was like probably our 2 toughest weeks.
Yeah. Well,
then we had a week with the Paso Doble. We did the Paso Doble like 35 times in a row.
During practice?
Yeah. The thing is, though, like the travel week, it's not just a travel week, right? Like pros are known to travel to their partners. A lot of them don't live in LA. Not this season, but different seasons. Sometimes their partners don't live here, you know, so they're known for traveling. But this travel was different because it was a different situation where we didn't actually have a schedule.
Yeah.
So when I flew there, it was for a certain thing where we didn't know when he was going to be out. He didn't have his phone. So I was literally just waiting. And it was frustrating because also not only do we have to learn a whole dance in a few hours of that day, we had to do all our interviews as well for Dancing with the Stars. So, which is part of the show. I mean, we're used to that. But because we didn't have time to practice, we had to shoot all these interviews too because we were missing from the studio. So we literally had maybe like 2 days when we came back from New York to rehearse. Because in New York, we barely rehearsed. We did interviews and it was maybe like an hour.
It was hard to do interviews because it was so much noise going on and everything. And I was like, yeah, we're not going to get it done.
It was a lot. The fact that we came out with that cha-cha, I think it was the best we could have done. Also, like I said before, usually like our learning process is I'll give him the choreography and the 2 days that we have to do it, I'll like do some trial, and a lot of it's like trial and error because a lot of it doesn't work with the height. But this time we had no going back. So whatever I planned, we had to do. So it was difficult. It's okay, but we made it.
We did.
Made it out alive.
Yeah,
we did.
I mean, when life comes through, like you guys really powered through it, and then you went even harder the next week, and you guys were doing 2-a-days.
Yes.
8-hour days of dancing is insane.
Yes.
That was a lot. It was fun, but you know, it was a great way to kind of put my energy all into this one thing, like winning this mirror ball, like was the only thing that I was focused on. So it made practice fun. You know, it wasn't like I was going in there like, dang, I gotta go to practice today. You know, I was like, I can't wait to go in there and pass gas and then dance for 4 hours and then come back. But that was a lot of fun. You know, it really was fun because, you know, usually we go practice, then we go home and we're playing video games or something. But now it gives my mind and my body a challenge. I gotta really like focus on the whole dance, and then also not just the dance, but the music, like listening to the song on repeat, like nonstop, like all day and night, just hearing the song. So now when I'm actually doing the dance, I can feel it a lot better. And watching movies and watching film on all these different characters and trying to become the character, that was the fun part about the whole thing, is just like having Halloween every Tuesday. So that was cool.
So you hear music a little differently now?
I've always heard music different, but now it's like with the addition to the counts. Like before, I had a great ear for music. I could tell if something is really, really good or if it's terrible. The just different beats, the sounds, the instruments. But now I could hear the steps different because of how the dances that we have to do. And that's what was messing me up in the beginning, because I could hear music different, but now we're adding steps to it. So
Sorry.
like,
I just had a visual of Dwight in his car. 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, it's off.
I be doing that in my head. Like, seriously, yeah, I be doing that in my head now. Like all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Even all my songs now, that's how I hear them. So, yeah, it just helped me. I don't know, it's just crazy. Just the whole experience and learning the different steps and all that stuff. Like, I don't want to stop dancing. I want to do more, like, kind of just get into that world a little bit more. It's a lot of fun.
Do you think you will going forward?
Yes, I have to. It's a way to stay in shape. I don't have to do all that jumping and dunking and wrestling and yelling and farting all the time at the games.
Oh my God.
You know, I could just dance, you know, and travel the world, which is really good for my knees and my ankles and my feet. Because they took a beating the first couple weeks. They gave me some small shoes.
They did.
And they waited all the way to the last week to get me proper shoes.
Oh, wow.
He was complaining all season about his feet. And the thing is, though, like when he complains, it was like 2 seconds and he's like, I got this. I'm tough and all that. And I was like, okay, I guess his feet are hurting. He took off his shoes. He has blisters everywhere.
Yes.
And his toes are like this. And then none of us realized his, like, shoes were too small on him. And he's been saying it the whole season. And I'm like, no, his shoes are fine. He's just making an excuse.
But I had holes in the bottom.
He had holes on his shoes because they were too small. So by the last week of dance, we got him a bigger pair of shoes, and all of us
it was so good. Yes.
I was like, dang it.
I wasn't missing no steps again. Like everything was fluid. Like it felt so good in those new shoes. Those old shoes was kicking my ass. Oh my God. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. His feet looked really bad.
Yeah, and it was like this the whole
like
time.
that.
My big toe was like this. It's supposed to be like this. My big toe was down here.
It wasn't fun. Sorry.
Yeah.
What size shoe are you?
I'm 17, which was a 50. I needed a 50, but they had me in a 48. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was missing steps. My feet was trying to get
that's
out.
not why you were missing
feet
steps.
was trying to get out.
Not.
That's the reason, Daniella.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. You still missed one step in that round where we got eliminated. But it's okay. We're not going to talk about it.
I
We're not
did miss a
gonna talk about
step.
it. You
I
did.
did miss
It's
a
okay.
step in the free dance.
In the Paso Doble. But then again, you made up for it because you caught me because I slipped. So that was nice. Thank you.
I was like, oh no, Danny, but come on. Because we was the same height then.
I ate shit. I did.
She had a dress on and the little part of her skirt got caught with her heel. And when I saw it, I was like, oh shoot, but I can't make a face because she's always telling me always stay into character. So I'm seeing her like little trip up a little bit. So I'm trying my hardest to keep my balance, like hold my core in and pick her up and go with the beat.
You did good.
Because it's so fast.
You did good. It was a very professional thing to do. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty good.
How do you think you improved week after week?
Just with my confidence and then understanding like there were certain things that I needed to do to gain more of trust with my partner. So it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of, things that I needed to learn. but also how to kind of like take a step back and really listen. You know, that was one thing that was really good about the whole season, is really listening, like not being so like eager to want to say something, but really like locking in on trying to hear everything out first. And then, you know, what we would say is chewing the meat and taking out the bone, the good stuff that I would need from whatever she's saying. And the stuff that maybe I don't understand right at the moment, then don't dwell on it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like if she's teaching me a dance that I need to do and I mess up, instead of like dwelling on the mess up, is hearing what she's saying I messed up on. Because a lot of times early I would dwell on what I was messing up on, then I would mess up on it again. So, you know, just gaining that understanding, which comes from patience. So, yeah.
Was there a point throughout the season where you guys got really comfortable with each other?
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like we were comfortable
The
with
whole
each other
season,
from the beginning. Like, the moment he walked in, I mean, I feel like it was just, like, super easy to get along with him because he's just very open and I'm pretty blunt. Like, I'll just...
Yeah.
It's just,
she's blunt.
It is what it is. So I feel like it was really easy. Communication was pretty easy, too. Like,
yeah. I let her know from the beginning, like, how I would like to be, you know, taught and all that stuff. And then we had some times where we had to like kind of, you know, shift it a little bit. But from the beginning, I let her know, like, hey, I'm here to win this. Like, and all season long, that was the whole goal. Like, I'm here to win this.
I think that's why he's also one of my favorite partners I've worked with, just because from a pro standpoint, his energy was just unmatched. Like, he would come into rehearsals excited to do it. And instead of me pulling teeth and him not wanting to be there, he was just so excited no matter what challenge was thrown at him. He was just taking it with such grace and positivity that I had to question myself. I was like, okay, I need to be a little bit like less anxious, you know, because he's just in it for a good time, but wanting to learn. So as a pro also, like, you go straight to teach. Like, you want to go into teach mode and coach mode, but you have to remind yourself too that they're here for one season. Hopefully we get brought back, but we want to make sure that their time on the show is also fun, because if it's not fun, that sucks. So
yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. Like, even like I miss going to rehearsals and taking a break in the back and eating all the snacks and talking to Dave and farting, making noodles and talking to. And one time we had a crazy, I feel bad for the camera lady.
What happened?
Oh, it was so bad.
This was really bad.
It was so bad.
The pass gas was at least for 35 seconds or more. Like, my pass.
He farted so much that one time that this poor camera lady...
She was behind me. And I didn't know she was behind me. He had no idea. I had my eyes closed and she had just taught me this little yoga pose type stretch. And I did it and I was holding it and it was just all in her face.
I'm surprised her hair didn't like catch.
Yeah, it was crazy. And she was behind me. I thought she was going to get pink eye.
It was so bad.
Stuff.
It
was so bad.
Mortified for her.
Yeah, I felt so bad after that. But like, it really was so... I had so much fun being there, and I wanted to win so bad. Like, I actually started writing. I want to show you guys. Oh, you probably can't see it because of my phone, but
we believe you.
I
believe you. He wanted it. Like, he was every time I'd say, "If we make," he's like, "We're gonna make it."
Well, you just scroll. Like, I was writing on that.
I will win Dancing with the Stars. I will win You wrote this, Dwight. It doesn't end.
I really believe like in the power of manifestation. And so like we actually had this is what I always do with everything in life. And so we had this 1 week where actually we got a 10. It was our first 10 of the season. Everybody's 10.
Yeah. Who gave it to you?
Carrie Ann.
Carrie Ann. Out of all people, Carrie Ann, where's the main camera?
The main camera.
Carrie Ann. But no, like we had this week. That week was like a real crazy week. Like,
it was our contemporary, right?
yes,
It was
contemporary,
contemporary week.
and it was crazy. That week was like the most intense week for me, like individually, like outside of dance. And so the only person at that time I could rely on was Danny. And so I knew how much this dance had meant to her. You know, the first couple of days she just kept expressing that this is really important to me. And I'm like, okay, I gotta really like block out everything that's going on and lock in on this dance. So while everything is going on, I get the song and, you know, I'm just listening to it every day, trying to like get it in my brain. And then I say to Danny, wouldn't it be nice if we have our best dance ever? And I said that to her, and that was like my whole motto for the week. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice that we have our best dance ever? No matter what's going on, wouldn't it be nice? And then the first time we did the dance fully, full lifts, twists, everything, was actually in front of Moo and Nick and what's her name?
Marlinda.
Marlinda. And it's just them three in there. It's the first time we did it. And we crushed it. And they start clapping. And she's like, let's do it again. I'm like, oh no, wouldn't it be nice that we have?
Fun fact, we did our Halloween dance from beginning till end one time total before we performed it.
One time.
That's crazy.
One time.
And crushed it. We just kept saying, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah. And so after they saw it, the next day we had to do our camera blocking. And it was crazy. The first time we did it, the whole ballroom was in silence.
Insane. It was insane.
Everybody, the cameraman, they weren't even looking through the camera lens no more. They was like this. Alfonso was like this. He instead of him doing his usual dancing, he was stuck. He couldn't even move. Everybody was stuck. And me and Danny over there breathing like we just got finished running 2 miles.
It was a lot. It was a lot emotionally. Yeah. I mean, I came in there prepared to honestly, like, I'm not going to like, I was ready to, I didn't know how it was going to go. Imagine you did the whole day, like the whole week you did it one time.
Yes. How come you couldn't get it through? It was just so difficult?
Well, that, and then it was so many parts that we had to try to like get done, like
professionally, right? Like when you're training for something, you have to do it over and over and over again. So imagine his body, like the amount of lifts and tricks and like stuff I had planned in that dance, to do that over and over again was so taxing that his body was already falling apart. So, and also my ankles, like being grabbed by your ankle, my hip, my ankle, everything was hurting. So there's only a certain amount of times you can get through it without just your ligaments tearing. So we physically couldn't do that routine from beginning till end without getting hurt. So when I came in, I was like prepared for the worst, to be honest. And I was like, thank God we have rehearsals after camera blocking because I don't know how this is going to go. And I think I cried, to be honest, because I was just like, what?
As a pro, have you ever done that before?
No. I was never so unprepared, I think. Actually, the cha-cha. The cha-cha was a close second.
This was like...
That was different.
But I kept saying to her, like, we got this. Like, we gonna crush this. I'm telling you, we gonna crush it. I just kept telling her, I know we gonna crush it. We gonna kill it. And she's like, Dwight, but we haven't practiced it. We haven't done this the whole time. And I'm like, I'm telling you, we're gonna crush this. I already know it's gonna be our best dance ever. And when we did it in front of everybody, it was insane. And it wasn't, just imagine, with no theatrics, nobody there. It's just everybody watching. And they just could not believe how sick the dance was. It was so good. I didn't want to do it again after that until the actual dance because of how much like her body had to take a pounding. I remember the first time we was working on the swing and I actually dropped her head on the ground. I feel so bad. I was trying to swing her and put her down and her head hit it like, real hard.
And the thing is, because he's not a pro, I mean, now he is, right? Now you're a
Yeah, I'm
professional
a pro
dancer.
dancer. You hear that, Carrie Ann?
But because he's not like a professional dancer, his awareness is a little bit different. So he was so raw in it, and he was so committed that I didn't even want to tell him anything, because I didn't want him to babysit me or just be fragile or walk on eggshells. I wanted him to keep his rawness. So we just kept going. And he's like, did I just bump your head? I was like, yeah, but it's okay. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it was crazy. And then like grabbing her ankle, I knew it was hurting her. So I'm like, man, we can't do this. We can't keep doing this that many times. But then after we did it in front of everybody, everyone was just in shock and in awe of how amazing it became. Not just a dance, it became like a movie. Like everyone was like, we just saw a movie. And that's what we envisioned, like
that's what we
winning
wanted.
an Emmy for this great movie that we just put on. And then when everyone actually saw the dance, they were the same way. My mom said she was at home and she was grabbing people just in shock from every part of the dance, and everyone, someone who does my business, she said her dad don't even watch TV. He watched the dance and he was in shock how good the dance was. And I believe that was our best dance. It was so good. Like I'll do it again just because it was just, I remember just the whole part, like us learning the little flip where I just jumped one time and got up. She was like, how did you do that?
Yeah, by the way, that was not planned. That part where he jumped and like what is it?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu roll.
He
that
rolled
was
on the
not
ground.
planned.
It wasn't planned, and I saw him get out of. He like fell to the ground and did that. I was like, "What's that?" I was
And
like,
she
"I'm putting
put it
it
into
in."
the dance. Yeah. And we did it. And then Ashley, Micah, and my security, he was teaching us how to do it. And she'd be cold at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I can't even say the word.
What?
But how she moves, she could be in the UFC.
Okay, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
You can do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I'm telling you, she's so fast and quick, she already know the steps, but she learned the move really 3 times after watching it. How to get up and get out of it just as quick. And after we did that, it was like every part was on fire. Every little sequence. Like I can just picture in my head now us practicing all the moves, and she just keep telling me, just make sure that we are always on key. I'm gonna be right in front of you. And so like I really enjoyed like just the growth that we had and the trust that comes with, the commitment. She saw how committed I was, and she was able to trust that I was gonna actually put in the work. So she gave me videos to watch or things to watch. I'm actually watching them and studying them and, trying to learn from it. So, that was a really good experience.
How do you even begin to do the swings?
She just told me to grab her foot and start.
And you just start swinging?
And start swinging. I was afraid I was going to actually let her go and she was just going to fly
into the wall.
If you did that,
I was so scared. I was so scared because I'm like, okay, I don't want to squeeze her too tight, but at the same time, I have to because I'm actually swinging her around.
Because you got to get the momentum.
Yeah, so it's a lot of trust, and that's the biggest thing. Like that's why I said I learned so much from Dancing with the Stars, was just like how much you have to really, really trust your partner, because we're doing things that are crazy. Like her jumping off the stage for me to catch her. Like we just no practice for that. We tried to practice with a little platform.
It took like a little platform, yeah.
That was in the rehearsal place, but to actually do it on the stage and all that stuff, you got all the music going on. So to catch her, she actually jumped off this way instead of straight back. So I had to like move over to catch her, but it just worked out perfect with what the next move was. So it was so good just to see how everything turned out. And like, I'm just so proud of like how we overcame so many obstacles that week. And it just pushed us forward. Like I was like, this was our breakthrough. We needed this. And, it was so good. It was really good.
How did Dwight grow week after week as a dancer?
I think with every style, he rose to the challenge. I feel like he took it and went full open-heartedly into it. And I feel like that's what made him a better dancer in the end, is just, he just trusted the process. That's it. And repetition.
A lot of
Practice.
reps. The worst thing that I couldn't get was to get my arms out on the salsa.
Cucaracha.
The
rumba.
The rumba. I could never get my arms to always come out. But see, I noticed what that's from, because when I played basketball, when I tried to shoot my free throws, I can never get my arm to lock all the way out. So
what he's saying is, if people need a trainer, I can teach you how to play basketball.
yes, if you need
Please don't call me.
Not for basketball, but like it's crazy. But a couple years ago, before I wanted to actually take dance so I could learn how to land properly, how to make my steps easier when I'm playing and stuff like that. So I actually think it's good for athletes to pick up the art of dance, because it's going to help them maneuver in different areas, but also save their legs and ligaments from a lot of the pounding that you would do from basketball. If I would have did that a little bit earlier, it would have, even though I played 19 years professionally, it could have been 25, or even at a higher rate than what I've already done. So yeah, the stuff I was learning, getting lower, using the right part of my toes, all those different things is that, things are important for basketball players.
If you were to pass the torch to another athlete
To do the show?
and partner with Daniella,
Oh, God.
who
Please,
would it
no
be?
one over 7 feet, please.
I wouldn't pick
Please.
somebody that was super tall.
Yao Ming?
No.
You said you would
I wouldn't pick somebody that's
Thank
taller.
you.
Oh, you
I
wouldn't?
appreciate that.
No.
Thank you.
Because I understand how difficult it was for her to move around me. I got rhythm, so it'd probably be a little difficult with some people who might not have as much rhythm, because she's having to dance around me, which means her steps and it has to be 2 times to keep up with my one step. So, that's very difficult. I wouldn't want her to go with somebody that's super tall. I would say maybe a Chris Paul, maybe being good at Dancing with the Stars.
I don't know who that is.
He's a point guard, someone with steps. He know how to count steps and stuff like that. And he's not as tall. He's like 6'2".
6'2", I could take.
Or
I could take 6'2".
Steph Curry.
Who's that guy who's like all over TikTok right now?
Oh, Jerry McCain.
I think so.
He's a rookie.
No, there's a guy. He's like dancing.
I really enjoyed it for real. Like,
We could tell.
yeah, I did. I'm gonna miss it. Like, I'm having like withdrawals from dancing.
That's a thing.
Is it?
That's a thing, yeah.
It is? Mm-hmm. I am.
And
I'm
then when
like,
you watch,
dang.
well, I don't know if you're gonna watch next season, but if you see me next season, it's gonna be really fun. So we should like get you in like a trio or something.
You
Trio
know,
week.
next year, can I do the voiceovers
Yes.
instead of it being a British guy to
Yeah.
be me? I could be the country guy. Next coming up for the Paso Doble.
Can you imagine Dwight just replaces the guy?
It's Dwight Howard and his dance partner. Yeah, that'll be fun.
What do you think was the most difficult part of Dancing with Dwight this season, just with the height difference?
Honestly, it was just choreographing and like finding things that work for us, because we literally reinvented the wheel a little bit. Mm-hmm. We did things that only would work on the two of us, and the lifts we would do that only work on the two of us, and the height difference. So finding things and playing on the height difference was actually more challenging, but I loved it. And the fact that we were more unique to the competition was nice, because you couldn't get like a direct comparison. But at the same time, I think the choreography is just knowing that I would walk in and sometimes I would have to change everything, because me even just doing a little rotation around him would not work. So I'd have to re-choreograph it and make
Because I got long legs.
Yeah.
She got short little legs.
Okay, let's not go there. I'm 5'3", you guys. I'm normal height. He just didn't stop growing. That's the difference.
5'3" is normal
5'3"
height.
is average. Anything above
Where?
5'3" is tall
Where?
on Earth.
On Earth, 5'3" is
5'3".
short.
It's short, but it's average. It's
Oh.
average.
Average height for Taiwanese. You're 5'4"? See, he's average height. He's average height in Taiwan. 5'4".
You're fired from this podcast.
But no, I don't. For me, I didn't see it as being something that is difficult. You know,
That's because you weren't choreographing.
That's true. That's true. But
For me, it was
I'm
hard.
just saying, I didn't see anything being a challenge. Like, the only thing I was seeing was winning the whole thing. I was like, oh, we're going to win. That's all I was thinking about. Like, I don't care if they're saying that she's short and I'm tall. Like, we're going to make it work.
I thought you guys were going to, because I remember when all the couples came out, you guys were my favorite. And I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be so cool to see how you figure this out. And each week you did. Did you feel like you were challenged because of the rules of dance? Like with postures and keeping feet on the ground? Is that the
I think we
difficult
got
part?
the hardest dances all in a row first.
Well, to be honest, I feel like yes and no. Yes, because there's a certain technique we need to have in order to progress and to make improvements. No, because of the height difference, we physically couldn't do those things. So I feel like they gave us a little bit more grace with those things. But obviously, there's certain techniques you have in ballroom and Latin dancing that, you know, are a standard. So the fact that we couldn't meet that standard was a little frustrating. But at the same time, we found our own way of making it work. So it was fun.
We did. And even with our last dance, we brought a table out
We did. We brought a platform
so
out.
she can actually be close to my height.
And did that help a lot?
It was fun. It was fun. That dance, we actually did more lifts and turns and spins and jumps. Well, not jumps, but a lot of lifts. But it was so much fun. Like,
We're bringing one back for the finale. One
yeah,
of those
we
lifts.
are. But when we did the dance, though, to be honest, I know the judges had their numbers and stuff ready. I didn't even care about what was going to happen because I felt like the dance was so good. Like, out of the dances after we had our last dance, like, I felt like nothing even mattered, not even if they scored us low. I felt like it was such a great dance. Like, we crushed it no matter what was being said. But it was sad that we had to leave. But at the same time, our last dance, I was like, oh, we crushed it. I remember when she first showed me the lift and how I needed to, like, push her off and catch her, and how all week we was practicing to make sure we got it right, but we couldn't do it too much because that's a lot of lifting. But I just remember just every day being at home or being at the rehearsal, working on just getting my hands up
Just
and spinning
move
them.
with Dwight.
Just practicing that. But that really helped me. So when I got to when we actually performed it, like, I was like, oh man, this is gonna look so good doing this and stuff like that. And it was. So I didn't even care about what nobody had to say about it. I just knew that the dance was so good, and she was just so happy. I could just see she couldn't even stay in character.
What was it, in the Paso?
No, in the last dance.
In the Argentine?
In the Argentine.
No, I think it was Paso, because Argentine, I tried to stay in character.
You tried, but you
did.
were so happy.
I was happy.
Because the whole dance was like, I remember her telling me one time during the dance, remember to stay in character, because I had got a little tired. It's a little part in the dance where
He was breathing with his mouth open. He was like,
it's inevitable that you're going to get tired on this part, because it's a part where I just lifted her up, then I put her down and spun her around 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going to get a little tired, but I remember her telling me to get back in, character, stay in character. So it was cool, man. I actually got a chance to, at the end, no matter how far we made it, understand how dancers could actually be so locked in on the dance. They could actually look at people in the crowd and do certain things, but their dance is so good, their steps are so perfect that it doesn't even matter. Like, it was just great. It was just great seeing it, learning from her, Posh, like the stuff that he would do when he would come in and help me out. You know, he was like the voice of reason sometimes. So he'd come in and say, no, not like this. Do like this. And then it'll just flow. So, you know, it's really good to see their connection, you know, as a couple, as a partnership. And, you know, even just outside of dance, you know, it just gave me so much hope. But then also just how they were on the dance floor, you could tell that they were connected deeper than just dance, based off how they were dancing and just the look that they give each other on the dance floor. I remember when they had a dance right after me and her did our little camera blocking, and they went next. And I was sitting next to the cameraman, and he was like, dude, man, I can tell they're married. It's like, I can tell they're married, man. Just look how they look at each other, dude. And so I'm just sitting there like, wow, he's so right. It's just, their eyes, their noses, everything is just locked in, right on each other. And I'm like, man, that's how I want to be with my partner. Just our noses. But no, it was great to see, man. I'm gonna miss it. Dancing with the Stars, bring me back. Let me be a guest host.
We need like a
something.
Dancing with the Stars reunion episode, you know?
Yeah, just let me come back and do something. I could do the lighting. It's a big
Not lighting.
It's a big Samoan guy. We can do the same job together. You know, the big Samoan guy, the tall one. Shout out to you, man. I can't think of your name right now. Big Samoan guy, but he was cool, man.
Oh, with the ponytail.
With the ponytail.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss seeing him. You always come by and get, and the security.
Dave
All
and
the
Mike,
security,
yeah.
everybody. I had a good time.
So safe to say, if there was a redemption season, you'd want to be
I'm
involved.
coming back. I'm redeeming myself.
You're just requesting a different partner.
I'm
Someone
not
taller.
requesting a different partner.
We need a taller partner.
I have one.
I'll get stilts.
No, but you could be our teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 7, 8, 9.
Are there any moments that happened throughout this past season that now that it's over, you can laugh at? Anything that was difficult?
Yes.
Is it?
That wig will always. I will watch this. If I'm ever feeling down, that is the first thing. One time we're driving and he texts me while we're driving. And he's like, I see you laughing or smiling. I'm like, where are you? Like, I'm literally driving. How
saw you on the
how do
road?
you see me? We saw each other on the road, I guess.
Yes.
And he's like, I see you laughing. I'm like, Dwight, what do you think I could possibly be laughing at? Watching that cha-cha back for me is like, it just makes me so happy. This wig deserves an Emmy on its own. Like this little number, my favorite thing ever. That watching that cha-cha back just makes me so happy.
It won't fit now. Take my hair
good,
down. Good. We're going to keep the wig out of here, y'all.
Makes me so happy. It wasn't funny the week before because of that period.
Oh
but it
my
was
God.
funny.
She laughed every single day after that. And it was because I knew my step, but for some reason, I told Danny before, I said, I'm going to blow my mama a kiss. So I was supposed to do something in my step, but instead I just did the little spinaroo.
I was like, he is gone. I looked back and he was spinning.
She looked back and I
he
was
was
just spinning.
rolling. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I gotta join this party because this looks crazy right now. Like,
I
if I
wasn't-
don't join him right now, people are gonna think we're like that much off. So we're like partying. I was like, when I'm telling you I was belly laughing, I
She
was
could not stop
belly
laughing.
laughing.
No matter- yeah.
And then Carrie Ann was like trying to tell us our marks and like
she didn't
notes.
even care.
I was laughing.
She was
I felt
still
so
laughing.
bad. I was still laughing at
It was
at
so,
Dwight.
the step was so bad that, see, when we did it in camera blocking, I guess the people who do what's the stuff that come down?
Confetti.
The confetti.
Oh, the confetti.
The confetti's supposed to come out as soon as we get to our last hit. So it's like, bow. But when I did it was a little bit too early. So the
Thank
confetti.
God he slid, because
Oh my God, yeah.
I wasn't ready.
We actually did the one practice where I actually hit her like a bowling pin.
We both
ball
came.
hit the-
Yeah,
yes.
we both.
Yeah, so
floor.
oh my God, it was so many things that could have went wrong, but it was just like everything went just
Wait, the
how it was
confetti.
supposed
Finish
to
your
go.
confetti story.
Oh, the confetti. I was sitting up there like doing this so the confetti could come out, but it didn't come. So I'm like, and then it was like, it came out later. I'm like, oh man, I felt so bad. But I swear this was the best time. Like, I could have not asked for anything better to happen these last, how was it, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it was. It was so much. I got a chance to eat all the junk food in the world again and still work
you were
out.
eating every rehearsal. You had candy in your pocket.
Yeah, because I could never do it playing basketball and all that stuff. I had to stop to make sure that I didn't gain weight or anything like that. But because we were dancing so much, I got a chance to eat candy all day.
What do you have on the side of your couch now?
I got Choli's, my favorite, and Skittles. But
I would literally by accident like brushing like against his pocket, and it would just be like a crunch, like. I'm like,
and some Skittles
what?
would fall out.
What? And then literally, like, I'd bring Pasha into the studio with us, and Pasha's like showing him something. Dwight turns, and there's just Skittles, just like, and like everywhere, just Skittles. Like,
she's like, did he fart Skittles? Like, this makes no sense.
I mean, the amount of Skittles in this man's.
I did.
Yeah,
I haven't been eating
It was
candy,
crazy.
but so because I've been dancing so much, it's like I've been having that craving that we just.
Are those Skittles over there?
These are Skittles.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and she brought me some Skittles one day and some donuts. She's the donut addict with the peanuts and all that stuff. She like peanuts. So I made
butter.
sure the peanut butter, I would get her a lot of peanut butter. But she wouldn't want to eat in dance rehearsals.
No, because I gotta fit into a little leotard by the end of the week. I can't eat all that stuff.
Well, we're doing
Although I am eating all
9-hour
that
practices.
stuff. I'm not gonna lie, we are practicing a lot.
Yeah.
I was eating a lot of junk food.
I
but
was
it's okay.
sweating so much. Like, I was like, this is crazy. Like, I don't even do this in basketball. But I was like, you know what? I could do this for a while. This is keeping me in great shape. And I enjoy it.
Dwight is gonna come back as a pro next season.
I can see it.
That'll be so much fun. Like, I want to do the tour. Like, I want to go and dance with the stars for the tour a couple times because it was really that much fun. I know a lot of people might not enjoy it as much as I did, but I probably enjoy. Well, I enjoy everything that I do. It doesn't matter what it is. We could just be driving. I'm gonna have the best time. But dancing, we started doing the cha-cha slide before all our dances, like before all our rehearsals.
Was that your pre-show ritual?
That was our pre-rehearsal, like to get us going was the cha-cha slide. And it actually did get us good and warm, so by the time we finished,
It did.
we was ready to go.
Is there a dance that you guys are most proud of?
The contemporary.
contemporary.
Actually, the Argentine comes close.
And the Argentine is right there.
yeah.
Yes, I would say the same.
Argentine was when you were on
The platform.
Was that so that you had more capabilities to do things throughout?
No, it was because an Argentine tango is supposed to be sexy and
Face to
intimate
face, yeah.
and face to face, and I'm all season face to face with his belly button. So I was like, this is not sexy in the slightest. So when people are like, oh, they have an Argentine tango, it's going to be sexy and they're going to look so awkward, I was like, well, yeah, it might look a little awkward, but I have to figure out a way for it not to look awkward so I can finally see this man's eyes, because all season I've been looking at his belly button.
Sometimes we bump heads when we was practicing.
Yeah, it was weird. But basically, like, it was the first time where I was like, okay, I need to find a way to make this dance look more intimate and sexy and get the vibe going, because the Argentine without that is like a little bit, it's just empty a little bit. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? I'm not going to wear stilts. So I thought of the platform and I was like, okay, I should have done this all season.
I mean, it made it so special.
Yeah. So, and I couldn't do it the whole dance, obviously, because we needed to travel and all that. But it definitely was something I was so proud of because of the way we danced together for the first time, like actually dancing face to face. So it was fun.
How'd you approach the dance competition against Alan and Alona?
What do you mean?
Because you guys competed against them.
I was like, wait, what? That's so random. It was fun. She's
I was
so
super
fun.
locked in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk to nobody.
He went on full competitive
I
mode.
wouldn't
Oh, really?
Yes,
It was game day?
Yes,
I'm
you
like
could
talking
tell.
to them. I'm like, oh, hey, well, nice.
And I'm like,
like,
I'm not talking to nobody. I don't see nobody but you. I don't hear nobody but you. And they're trying to talk to me and everything. Like Alan was trying to get my attention. I was like, nope.
he went
It's only
full
Danny. I'm
competitor
only
mode.
talking to Danny. Like the whole time, even from camera blocking, like not just performance time, like camera blocking. I wouldn't talk to nobody. Like it was just, we finna crush this dance. Nobody's gonna see nobody but me and Danny. I didn't care about the judges. I didn't care about the little cross line that we had. I was like, we're gonna crush this dance. Like it was like, yeah, but it was fun.
It was fun. You in the fringe pants was a moment.
Oh my God, the
People
fringe
love
pants.
that.
I wanted to do the fringe pants
She did
since
earlier.
last season. And I was like, I'm going to use this opportunity because I put Dwight in a fringe skirt in the beginning of the season for fun because I needed to get his hip action out. And I just remembered him in the fringe and like how good it looked. I was like, okay, I need to make a pair
It
of
made my
fringe
hips
pants.
look crazy, like I was moving.
And at first he was like, I don't know, let's try. I was like, no, please, let's do the fringe pants.
worked.
And it worked.
It
It was
worked.
really fun. It was so fun. It was a
Yes.
moment.
There was another challenge you both had some pretty good reactions to for the 5-minute dance.
Ay.
Oh my
Hey.
God. Danny was like, no.
Yeah, I was like, because when we were prepping, I was like, anything but the pasta.
Anything but the pasta.
Because
obviously.
imagine Paso Doble is a marching dance, right? It's a like 1, 2, 1, 2. So you can't just do it to any song, let alone a pop song. Like to Panic of the Disco, right? Is that
It was
Panic,
so
yeah.
fast.
like
Yeah.
a Paso Doble is meant to have like a Spanish like flair to it and like a seriousness, and you're dancing to Panic of the Disco, and I'm just like anything but a paso. And I was actually really upset because I wasn't upset, but I was like, dang it, I wish we got a salsa because
Yeah.
or something that showed his personality more because
Because we had just did a serious
we
dance.
just did a serious dance. Carrie Ann just said in her comments, like, I wish you guys, like, I miss seeing the Dwight, like the happy Dwight, the silly Dwight. And I was like, oh my God, we have a Paso Doble. She's going to hate that. So I wish we got something that, and it wasn't in our control. So
Yeah.
he picked out of a hat, you know? So I wish we got something to showcase his personality more because he's so fun. And we actually had a salsa. What was
Ready.
it for the dress rehearsal? We had a salsa.
Yes, and we
he
crushed it.
Killed it.
Oh my God.
Like-
I was like, if we have this dance, it's over with. I
Oh
know
my
we're going to
God.
crush it.
Oh, during the dress rehearsal,
Yeah.
you did it.
During the
We did
dress
a
rehearsal,
salsa.
it was so good. I was like, no matter what song we get, this salsa is going down. We finna eat.
He was amazing. Like, I'm not even kidding.
She was cheesing the whole time.
I was cheesing the whole time. And then when we got the pasta, I was like,
She was like, no.
I was so upset. I was like, dang it. And everyone has like such a fun dance, and we had the pasta.
we had a mean dance. I'm like, dang, I gotta be mean again. I know Carrie Ann finna be mad.
What would you say was the highest and the lowest point of the season?
So every day was high for me.
Honestly, it's hard because
We had
I feel
so
like we
many
hit a real
highs.
breakthrough.
On
Halloween.
Halloween.
I feel like we hit a real breakthrough because it wasn't just like a hard week. We were going through things like on the outside that made us grow stronger as a friendship because it taught us to be there for one another when things got really, really rough. So I feel like because that was such a hard week for us and we got through it, and only with one like solid run through of it, we did the best that we could have possibly
Yes.
done with it.
Yes.
So I feel like that was our high, is getting through that week, and our low is probably getting through that week, right? Because let me tell you, on what was it, Sunday or Monday? Sunday, before camera blocking, it was like,
Oh yeah, Sunday
it
was
was rough.
rough.
It was a rough one.
It was very rough, like mentally, physically, emotionally, like everything was just seeming like it was like, this is it. Like let's give up. But I was like, no, I just need a second to clear my head. Let me get a second. And so we did that. We talked it out. And when we got back together, we went inside and we crushed it. And that gave us confidence, I believe, for for that next Tuesday. But it really was like we had to get through this stage of being uncomfortable so we could grow. And it's hard sometimes in life when you have to, go through those stages. But when you have two people that are committed towards a certain goal, then, it makes it a lot easier, So when I was going through my personal issues, I was able to come to her, and she was able to, in turn, help me with those issues. And I was able to not allow my issues to mess up something that was so precious to her. So it's like we needed each other in this moment. I needed her, and she needed me to make sure that no matter what, I was there for this dance. And I could have been elsewhere because of everything that was going on at the time. I could have been elsewhere. But elsewhere was gone, and it stayed elsewhere. So it was like, it was only focused on the dance.
It really went elsewhere.
It really went elsewhere, so which is great. So like, that's why I'm so proud that the high and the low, but it really just, I don't even see it as a low. I just see it as something to kind of like a catapult, like you was on a high, but then something like takes you down so it can boost you up some more. That's what it felt like we needed that. So it was good.
I mean, seeing you guys unfold throughout the season was really so fun to watch, and seeing you hang out at the Laker game and like bring her to your turf was so cool to see. But what else do you guys have coming up next?
Well,
We got the finale,
yeah.
our last dance, and then
Dwight is doing the audition for Dancing
I'm
with the
doing
Stars Pros.
Yeah, doing the pros.
Sending in the audition tape
Yeah, and then I'm off to see the Wizard,
of Oz.
the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for making the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us on the show.
Guys, go subscribe to Above the Rim. It's going to be linked down below. Dwight's podcast. Go check out Daniella's TikTok, Instagram.
Go check out Daniella's
TikTok, Instagram.
They're
Jewelry
really good.
line.
Guys, check out Above the Rim. Dwight Howard. Hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil.
Except smell evil, because your farts be
Well,
smelling.
my farts are not evil. They're good.
They're
I'm just
evil.
spreading love. That's what that is. That's why you don't smell anything.
It's true, actually. They're not that stinky. One or two.
One or two, and that's because I may have had some bad food. But other than that, I'm just spread love. You guys spread love at home. I love you guys. You'll see us next year on Dancing with the Cars, not Stars.
Cool. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Oh, Lord.